Ever wonder who keeps those massive factory machines running? Or how about those roller coasters? How do they make sure those are safe and thrilling at the same time?
It's a fascinating world, really. Lots of intricate systems,
Yeah.
and a lot of high-tech problem solving goes into it.
So today's deep dive is all about the people behind the scenes who make it all happen. Electrical mechanics. You want the inside scoop on what this career is all about.
Consider it done.
Okay, so most people hear electrician and they think about the person who wires their house.
Right, right. They picture someone installing a light switch or something.
But electrical mechanics, that's something different, right?
Exactly. Electrical mechanics are the ones who make sure the world's machinery is running smoothly.
Okay, so not your typical light switch installation then. So what's an example of what an electrical mechanic might actually do on like a day-to-day basis?
Let me see. You could find yourself troubleshooting a robotic arm in a car factory one day. And then the next day, you could be calibrating the sensors on a high-speed roller coaster. We're talking about installing, maintaining, and repairing the electrical and mechanical systems that make all sorts of complex machines work.
Whoa, roller coasters. Okay, now that's what I call variety. Where else might an electrical mechanic find work? What other kind of places?
You're right. It's definitely not a desk job. You'd find these specialists in factories, on construction sites, in those repair shops you mentioned, even power plants, transportation systems, basically anywhere there's sophisticated machinery,
Yeah.
the kind of equipment that needs a steady hand and a sharp mind to keep it going.
Factories, roller coasters, the works. It sounds like a career with endless possibilities.
Yep.
But let's say someone is listening and thinking, okay, sign me up. What does it take to actually become an electrical mechanic?
Well, you don't need a 4-year college degree to get started, necessarily.
Right.
A high school diploma, or the equivalent, that's usually the minimum you need. But that being said, certifications and vocational training, they can really give you an edge in this field.
So a mix of education and hands-on experience. You mentioned certifications. What types of certifications are we talking about specifically?
Think electrician certification or industrial maintenance certification, things like that. These credentials show employers you've got the skills to handle the job's complexities. And remember, it's not just knowing how to use a screwdriver.
Right.
It's about being comfortable with a multimeter understanding complex electrical systems, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Speaking of complex systems,
Right.
how do those soft skills come into play in a job like this? It seems like a very technical field.
Oh, it is technical, absolutely.
Right.
But you're often problem solving on the fly, you see.
Right.
Sometimes under pressure, sometimes dangling from a harness 30 feet in the air.
Oh, wow.
And that's where those soft skills become really essential. You need critical thinking, clear communication, the ability to stay calm when things get challenging.
Okay, that definitely makes sense. So we've talked about the skills, we've talked about the education. Now I'm really curious about the tools. Am I picturing like a classic toolbox here, or what other kind of cool gadgets does an electrical mechanic get to use?
Get ready.
Yeah.
Because it's way more than just screwdrivers and wrenches these days.
Okay.
You've got your trusty multimeter, of course, for testing circuits.
Right.
But we're not just talking about checking voltage anymore.
Yeah.
Now you're using them to diagnose complex control systems.
Oh, wow.
We're talking programmable logic controllers.
Yeah.
These are like the brains behind a lot of industrial machines.
Wow. So it really is a blend of hands-on work and then that high-tech problem solving as well. And speaking of high-tech, I mean, technology is always evolving, right? So how do electrical mechanics kind of stay updated? How do they keep up with all the latest advancements?
You're hitting on a really crucial point. Continuous learning. That's key in this field.
Oh.
We're talking workshops, we're talking new certifications, staying on top of those industry publications.
Yeah.
It's not enough to understand just electrical systems anymore. You need to be comfortable with robotics, with computerized systems, even, sustainable tech. It's all part of the job now.
Knowing all of this, I'm curious, where could someone go from here? Is it a field where you can build a long-term career? It does. It really does sound like, the sky's the limit. So what kind of career paths are we actually talking about here?
Oh, you can absolutely climb that career ladder in this field.
Okay.
You might start with an apprenticeship, for example, or maybe an entry-level technician role. But then as you gain that experience, as you get those certifications, you could move into senior technician positions, maybe even supervisory roles, project management,
Wow.
some electrical mechanic. They even branch out,
Yeah.
start their own contracting businesses, that kind of thing.
Oh, very cool. And how about job security? Is the demand for skilled electrical mechanics, is that expected to, stay strong? Because I imagine that's a big question for anyone thinking about this as a career.
Yeah, and here's the good news. The job outlook, very positive.
Okay, good.
Industries across the board, they rely on their machinery, right?
Hmm.
And all that equipment needs regular maintenance. It needs specialized repair. Plus, on top of that, technology's always advancing. So that demand for skilled electrical mechanics, it's only going to grow.
So job security's there. That's great.
It is. It is.
It all sounds pretty exciting, especially that part about robots. It makes me wonder what's in store for like the electrical mechanics of the future. What does that road ahead look like for them?
Well, imagine this, right? You're an electrical mechanic,
Okay.
but you're not just troubleshooting a conveyor belt anymore. Now you're calibrating the sensors on a robot that's working right alongside its human colleagues. We're already seeing this huge increase in automation, smart technology, factories, industries, everywhere.
So electrical mechanics are going to be on the front lines of like this whole new wave of technology.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
They'll be the ones keeping those robots running smoothly, integrating those new systems, making sure the humans and the machines, they can all work together,
Hmm.
seamlessly. It's a career with a bright future, that's for sure.
That's quite the electrifying prediction.
Yeah.
And speaking of electrifying, I know you're probably eager to learn even more about this career path, right?
Of course.
And luckily for you, we've got RoleCatcher in our corner. I always love talking about them.
Who doesn't? They're an awesome resource. They have these incredibly detailed career guides,
Hmm.
cover everything, like salary expectations, day-to-day tasks,
Hmm.
even, the long-term job outlook. If you're serious about exploring this field, I mean, they're a great place to start.
And they don't stop at career guides either. RoleCatcher also has these fantastic skill guides, literally thousands of them. They break down like everything you need to know to level up your expertise. They even have this feature called RoleCatcher Capture, which I love, because it
Oh,
actually helps you find those job postings, and then it'll tell you which skills are most in demand for those jobs.
it's like having a personal career coach in your pocket.
Exactly. And then if you're thinking about giving your resume a little makeover, which let's be honest, we all are sometimes,
Always a good idea.
RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze job descriptions for you and then suggest ways that you can tailor your application so you can really stand out, which is so
I'm
important.
talking about competitive edge, right?
I know. Well, it looks like we've reached the end of our deep dive today.
Sad to see it end.
I know, but we explored the ins and outs of being an electrical mechanic. We talked about the tools of the trade, the importance of lifelong learning in this field, and of course, all those exciting possibilities that are ahead.
And there are a lot of them. It's been a real pleasure joining you today, I've got to say.
A huge thank you to you for sharing your expertise with us, for taking the
I'm
time.
happy to do it.
And to all of you listening, we hope you feel inspired to maybe explore the world of electrical mechanics, see what it's all about. Don't forget to check out RoleCatcher for that helping hand along the way. Until next time, keep those circuits humming.